Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that ain't hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought Mverb from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting for I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched.
Hi, Chess Gone Mad. We're here today, and I'm definitely under the weather, but I'm coming back to life as opposed to completely dead, which was the last couple days. So that's a positive. I got some kind of notification I'm supposed to deal with. What is it? All right. So, we have a pretty long grad show, not as long as they've recently been. Recently, it's been incredibly long. Here today, we had 28. You know, honestly, the length really depends on how many people submitted games. By the way, we have a problem where we need some developers. We got a great developer, just can't do everything. So I have to click into these profiles to see if we have some games, as an example. Let's turn on this light. Okay, we're gonna start off at the bottom, and we got Blaze. This is their third graduation, bud. And they just joined us pretty recently. And they've been just crushing the whole time. However, they're in the wrong cohort. Blaze, you're in the wrong cohort, bud. So get yourself in the right cohort, bro. Ned Stark's Ghost. Another graduation. Continuing to play longer time controls and analyzing them has been the most helpful and really highlighted the areas I need to improve. Following the dojo's philosophy of focusing on developing pieces, not hanging stuff, taking free stuff, and slowing down, especially in the end game. I've enjoyed watching the graduation shows to see where I can find similarities in my own game, which usually ends up being the same things mentioned before. I so agree, yeah. Also, thanks to Kenneth, I got his name right, for the plus-minus analysis, and Karma Portrait for the equals analysis. Both very helpful. All right, we're going to look at your game against Golfman. This is Ned Stark's Ghost. His 30s in the UK. Why am I not following him? He's amazing. 603. Very impressive. If you pop out his heat map here, you can see he started at the end of the summer. Absolutely crushing. So, that's a beautiful thing. Okay. So, I'll take a quick look at his clubs here. The Whales, right? And there's a club in Wales, maybe you know about, maybe you don't, called the White Knights Club. Maybe you could be part of that whale. I don't know how, Wales is a big place. They're probably not all friends. But anyways, we got 10 members in Wales. That's a cool thing. All right. So we're going to look at Golfman here. This is the latest game. Round robin. Okay. And let's take a look at the time graph. Great. Very impressive, Ned Stark's Ghost. Very well done. And I think as you go up the ladder, you're going to start playing time controls with increments. You can already do so, right? But that's where you should be moving to. And really good that you've got this slope here on your game. Okay, wait. Every grad show, I got to do a little jadooby wooby. It's pretty easy, though. So there's our jadooby wooby. And let's get into this thing. Good moves. Okay. And then a spicy move now, d5. Okay. I think it's okay. It's very ambitious. Boom, boom. Rook e1. And now you don't like queen d6. I think queen d6 is probably better than rook e8. In any case, on rook e8, you got to wonder about this move, see? Because you can't take a vitch, because then you're going to get, excuse me. Sorry. If you played rook e8, you got to worry about this, and, well, I'm all over the place here. On rook e8, you got to worry about d4 because your knight's hanging at the end of it. So from that perspective, queen d6 is right. Now, the problem with queen d6, from my perspective, would be knight d2, because we're then looking at knight e4. That's worrisome to me, right? Yeah. There's a possible world where knight g5 right now even could be a little bit, he should be okay, but it could be a little problematic. Okay, h3, your opponents at this level are going to lose tempi. You say, thank you very much. b4, bishop b6, b5. Okay, good. Now, intuitively, I think you should be fine here, even if it's going to get very complicated. And I say that because your development is good. All right. So you played knight a5. You don't like it. But I think I would have played knight a5. He takes. We could consider bishop a3. And now a big decision here. I think you should, well, knight takes c4 would be the first question for sure. I don't know what's wrong with your position. I mean, if they do it that way, then you have that, like you said. And I think you're just golden, right? Your development is awesome. It's not quite over. We could talk about this. Or even more important, yeah, and it's a good thing you have this because you got this. Oh my God, it's hot. It's hot. Whew. Okay. So, rook fe8, d4. And you say this hangs the bishop. And instead, you want him to play bishop f4. Whew. Bishop f4 would take balls of steel. No, he can't do that because then you would just take this guy and then you take this guy. Okay, first of all, I want to make sure I feel comfortable with the assessment that this is losing. So you say f6, and now your opponent blunders, but couldn't he have played bishop c4, queen d5, and then moved the knight somewhere? Let's put it here. You still have fine compensation for the pawn, but it's not like white's lost, right? Maybe I'm missing something. I think d4 was okay, and then that's just a plain blunder. One of the things I really like what you wrote about taking the free stuff, and then boom, it's not only free, but look at that knight. Now such a huge piece over there. Is your opponent's development awful? That's what we want to see. All right, now you get real fancy here with knight takes c3. Okay, let's make sure it works. You like it. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I'm going to say that's very impressive calculation. Yeah. So Ned Stark's Ghost, dude, if you're going to calculate that, you're crushing, bud. You are crushing. Okay. Dang. That's a spicy move. Yeah. Now, some of the things you're doing, I would describe as the most accurate moves. But notice when you're up a piece, you don't have to play the most accurate moves. You just got to trade it down. Yeah, so this makes me a little nervous, even though I think it's great. That wasn't it. Yeah, you're playing great chess here, man. Oh, beautiful chess. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Wow, man. That was a beautiful game. Really good game. Yeah, that was well played. And something I want to stress is I felt like your calculation was much better than the level that you're doing at. I appreciate very much that you did it without the computer because I could tell there's things in there that you were doing your own analysis. Fantastic. So that's what improvement looks like. That's what it looks like. Yeah. And like analyzing this position, it's tough. My guess is that white is fine here. And that there's problems with each variation. So like rook e8, d4 is a problem. And then queen d6, knight d2 is a problem, right? But, I mean, great that you, even if I disagree, fine. It's just a beautiful piece of analysis that you did here. And one of the obvious things we want to say is on your path to 1,000 dojo, that's about 1250 ChessCom, right? There's going to be a lot of games like this where you don't hang anything and your opponent does. So you're on your way here, bud. I thought that was great. All right, we're going to mark that and continue here. Go back to this. And now we got the famous Luchek. He says, reaching 950 rapid was a real challenge, and I fought for it for over a month. So I'm thrilled to have achieved it. Huge thanks to Luke for the great coaching sessions and to Blue Guitar Gambit for his support. Great. Luke is a young kid from the Netherlands. He's giving lessons on the dojo, so that's great. For Sensei's consideration, after finishing the main material from this cohort, I decided to work through the entire Learn Chess the Right Way series by Polgar. I've completed almost all of it and found the puzzles excellent for improving pattern recognition and tactical awareness. Volumes 1 through 4 are definitely suitable for the 6-7 cohort, while Volume 5 is a bit tougher, so it might be worth considering adding them to the material for this cohort. Great, I know we have, it gets mixed reviews amongst the dojos. This is one of the things, I've read almost everything in the dojo. I haven't read this one, but I know we have one called Defensive Play, which is one of the volumes there. So we could consider it. In general, I like what we have, but there are some people who don't graduate and they've done all the tactics, and for those people, we do need something. And so that is definitely something that we could think about bringing in. Okay. Actually, I'll add that. I'll add that to our little list. Okay, here we go. This is Luchek. Oh, man. Yeah, born 1990. Boom. Luchek is working, as you can see. Very nice, dude. Very nice. Very consistent. And gone up a lot. It seems like he's using both Lichess and Chess.com. And he's got a custom Polish rating system. He's done a lot of the work already. Oh, this is great. Okay, so is there a Polish club? Yeah. But we need more. We got more than 9 members, right? Yeah, more than 9. And then we got some games. For Jesse Graduates Show. All right. All right, first we got this beautiful line. Maybe we'll see what kind of info this is. So this looks like a OTB event. Looks like he occasionally took his opponent's time and then consistently did his. Maybe his opponent's time every 5 moves, his moves were done all the time. Now notice, that's a 30-minute time control. Okay, so hard, the rapid game, kind of hard to take down the time in an OTV, so this is good. All right, let's go game review, and we'll get into it. All right, so yeah, in general, this is considered a bad move because regardless of how black recaptures, the pawn on c6 is going to kill the knight and help this bishop develop. Okay. Maybe unnecessary e6. e5 looks more natural. That doesn't look right. And now you played bishop d2. Now the main move we gotta talk about here is bishop d6. That's what they call planting. I don't know. You're planting something. That's a big bishop. That's a big bishop. So notice it's such a big bishop that it would be worth considering taking a tempo out. But in general, this move is nice to think about because it's more important for you to develop than for you to be doing things like bishop d2. Also, what you should maybe be able to intuitively see about this position is that this guy is a beast if the dark square bishop gets traded with all these weak squares. That's why really immediately I want to play this move. It prevents d5. It's going to make castling really difficult. We'll be enabled to play bishop c4 next. It even controls these important squares. Of course, it controls this one. What a beast. What a beast. All right, bishop d2. Now, this worries me a little bit with castles because now rook b8 would gain a tempo and attack your business. Okay. Now, in this position, we just have to say that black is doing great because they've achieved this d5 thing. They've got the better center. They're about to play rook b8. Their king will be safer. You took. Bishop b3 is a very frisky move. And let's just say this is bishop e3. Even if d4 doesn't work for black, you're making your life so much harder with bishop e3. Because imagine the guy just makes a move like that. Well, then you really have a problem with this and this. So it's not like bishop e3 improved your position that much. Okay, so here we go. He thinks for 4 minutes and goes for it. And then you played your move quickly. This analysis, maybe we need a little work done here. So bishop b5 is a good question to ask. I think that's the simplest. This one, it should be said that after oh, he can't play dc3. He's got this. This also looks amazing for you. Just looks fantastic. Okay, so maybe... okay, so you missed this move. Check. And now queen a8. I got questions. I got a lot of questions. For what? Can the guy take c3 now? Can he do that? It kind of seems to me like he can. So I don't understand that. He goes here. And now you get whacked. And now you go here. And you're in a little trouble. Here you're just in trouble. The bishops are so strong and stuff. I mean, trouble's a big word when you're up so much material, right? You talk about knight a4, you end up doing this, and then this is just a blunder, right? And then we're going to lose that guy too. Yard sale now. Now we're just losing everything. Okay, so no bueno, but it should also be said that this kind of failure here with knight e2, okay, is very typical for the level you're at now. So we can talk a lot about strategical stuff and yada yada, but what's really deciding the games here is this kind of mistake, okay? So focusing on it and just saying to yourself, oh, this is actually where the game's decided. That's what's going to take you to the next level. Notice that the guy before you, he wasn't making any mistakes. I'm sure in other games he will until he makes 1,000, right? But until 1,000, that's generally we're going to see a lot of this knight e2 stuff. Okay, well done. Luchek, I really like your work ethic, but I think you're doing great. Now we got Game Dev Dad. Let's see what's going on with the Game Dev Dad. Started casually. Queen's Gambit generation. He's in his midlife crisis, dude. Okay. Here we go. He's at the ADHD dojo. Does he have some games? He's got games. He's just started and he's got some games. This one was played yesterday. All right, let's take a look. 45 plus 15. Now, he can import the games so that we can see the times. Maybe I'm just going to go back just a second to see if the other ones are like this. No. Okay, so first of all, for everybody, put your games, the serious games you play, like these ones, into your My Games folder. All right, so here's this game. It would be great for next time if we got some times. All you have to do is make sure that you have the timestamps when you bring the PGN over. Fine. 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 Okay. And then a poor move. So your opponent's played fine so far, and then this move, it's kind of interesting, but ultimately it loses a tempo, and it blocks in the dark square bishop. Now it is true that he's going to get this knight e5, so it'll be interesting. That's what I meant by interesting. Now maybe you should try knight b4 now to steal that good bishop. That's not a good move because that's moving a developed piece twice. Knight c3 makes more sense to me. Okay. That's poor. Why not queen e2, right? You guys are both obsessed. You're obsessed over the e4 square. Okay. Knight e4. What do I want you to do? I want you to castle, right? I don't want you to be doing a bunch of fancy things. All right, now that's a very fancy move. I don't know. So, knight g3, king f3. This is guaranteed the spot where we need some more annotations here. So, interestingly, when you take the bishop and your queen's attacked, it's kind of like white is tricking you. Even though he's doing this weird king march, he's tricking you into trading his bad bishop for your amazing knight. And that was a poor move. So king takes bishop, king takes knight for sure. Now you can play queen takes and you're up a pawn. Thank you very much. Probably not the bishop because of the coming trick, but king e7. Oh my god, king c7. That scares the bejesus out of me. That makes me real scared. Maybe king e7 is a little better. Oh no. Okay. This would definitely be a moment to look and see if there was a win here for white. Okay. To my naive eyes, I see knight a6, king b7, rook c7, king takes, queen a4, Maidovich. These are the things that we should be looking for. Both kings on the run. Amazing. I think you need to do that move. That doesn't make any sense. The question is, who's going to get to the F file first? Doesn't make any sense. There he comes, F file. Good. Queen b5. Scary, but I don't know what it's doing. Rook, rook. And now maybe rook c8, you play here. And you like queen c7, but I don't know. It's not the end of the world for him. Oh, and then we're going to lose. Oh, no. Now, I assume that you are lost here, but notice it's not yet it's not yet super simple for white to finish you off. So in your annotation, you should definitely consider king a7. Okay. My takeaway here would be you want to spend more time in your both the games and the analysis looking at these tactical variations. And maybe a different way of saying is just king safety. Both players completely insensitive to king safety. King e2, and then later you play king c7 like a madman, walking into rook c1. Oh no! But those are where the gains are had. Now, I think you're doing great. I mean, you started recently, and you're already up here at 900 to 1,000. Ooh, and you know what? I didn't notice it, but you are in the wrong cohort over here. You're normalized 832, so really you should be in the 8 to 900 cohort. All right, missed that one. We got Mverb coming up. Mverb says, I've been enjoying the program so far. It has been great to have a clear direction in my studies. Looking forward to the upcoming cohorts. All right, here we go. Chess Gone Mad says, drew with a GM and beat an IM in 23 moves this week. That's amazing, dude. Where did you play this epic event? All right. So, friends who want to play with, bought a few chessable courses, understand the essentials. Good. All right, 938. Great. Been doing some good work. Look at that. Bam. Join the dojo, New Year's resolution style, and here he is. Doing great. Okay. Clubs. Nothing. Games. Loads. Remember, my game should be in here, not just kind of casually tossed to the side. Now, we could do both of these. I guess Wood JRX is a famous dojo word, but this one's more recent, so let's do this one. Team games, okay. Oh, this is a 30 plus 10. We don't have any business over here. No timestamps, that is. So it's OTB with one of his friends over here. Okay. Good chess so far. Okay, bishop b7 doesn't make too much sense to me. I think the main question is, can you undermine him here with a5? And if you can't, castling makes sense. But why bishop b7, I don't know. Good. Good. Maybe that's why you wanted to play bishop b7. You thought he'd let you get that, and he did. Oh, that wasn't it. Boom, thank you very much. Goodbye. Now, here, let's just say EF3 is a little too fast. The safe move for you is just to play C6. So EF3 feels like an impulsive move where you were like, oh, I got it tonight, and then you did it. Because now things are a little unclear. On King G2, I also don't know how you... Well, maybe I do know. No, I don't know how you don't lose a piece. Okay, I agree with you. The bishop C8 would be better. I'm just looking. The other move you should analyze, I don't know what the eval is here, but you need to analyze knight g4. If pawn takes, then queen h4. Critical variation might be knight g4, h3, queen h4, king g2. Yeah, it's a little bit spicy, isn't it? Okay, boom. Now we're hanging our stuff. Go ahead and move. Frisky. Oh, it's very frisky what he's doing. Queen f5. And you basically want to go to a square where his queen can't touch you. So h5 is more normal. And there you should... Wait a second. We got to talk about that position. Now, I think that's our key trick, maybe, to be writing in our notes. We full blunder. Okay, so interesting game, and what you're doing is you're blundering things, like you missed him playing c6, and you're missing this kind of thing over here. But otherwise, I can feel you have a general feeling of how to play chess, and that's a good thing. All right, that's the famous Mverb. Oh, but now we got somebody really famous. This is the options trader, dude. This guy's a very serious muchacho. He says, made it. Feel like I'm in a weird place, have been consistently winning, but still making lots of inaccuracies and obvious misses. Right, so at this level, 900, 1,000, there's lots of inaccuracies and obvious misses, and you can still be making very good progress. So here he is, the famous options trader. I want to talk to him about options trading. He's going straight up, and look at that. Maybe got a little lax in his logging of things. Maybe, is this the person who wanted me? Oh, yeah. Somebody was like, you got to change it to dojo points and look and see how it looks then. Okay, so this looks all great. Yeah. Clubs. Chicago. He's an old dude. Okay, here we go. And that's an older game, but we got a recent game here. My friends, bring in the times. You can do it. So, let's go game review. Weird. They call this a gambit. I just call this wrong. Look at this. He goes straight back. I don't know. They got a guy at chess.com who just comes up with names, random names for stuff. Okay. H6 is fine, but I want to stress, your opponent is not developing. It's time for you to just kill him with development. So the natural moves are going to be those. Okay. No development, right? Kind of weird. Maybe knight c6. Again, losing time. Good. You could have considered c6, but I like that you're developing your pieces. That one I don't like. Why? You're not developing castles. Okay. Poor move. The knight's off sides there. Should have taken the bishop. Take it. Oh, why wouldn't we take it? Just take it. Take it. Okay. Okay. Now we take it. Just take the pawn, buddy. Okay. So when you're up this much time, you're going to have some kind of trick. And so the obvious one is pop, 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 pop. Right? Okay. And again, you have bishop d3, knight h, bishop h2. And it seems like your arrows suggest you see that. Weird. And we're doing weird things that I don't understand. Knight e2. I don't know why you wouldn't just take your pawn. Good. I like the d-file action. Oh, I like that move. I like the way you're playing. Oh, I like the way you're playing. Now you're playing like an old man. This is the kind of play I can really respect. Okay, in general, here's just a fundamental failing, is that when you're up a pawn in a king and pawn endgame, it's going to be a win. It is going to be a win. So rook d1 is not what the guy wants to do. He could at least make it hard in any variety of other ways. Okay, so you should take it. He obliges you, however. And now, actually, you gave him a little opportunidad. So he could now consider b4, takes, and wiggle and jiggle, and it's at the minimum, it's complicated. Okay? He doesn't, though. And now you've worked yourself into a draw, right? Is this how it goes? And we're just going to make a draw out of here? No, you end up winning this somehow. Wait. He's got to hold, he just has to hold the line. He just has to go back and forth. Oh no. Oh, I see. He thought he was going to win on time or something. Again, it would be great to see the times here. One thing you should do in your analysis is this position is winning for you, okay? And you need to analyze how to win this, right? You need to analyze. I'm certain it's winning, and so you should figure it out. It would be great for your practice. We're doing these great lecture series things at the dojo, by the way, and we got a beautiful, it's been a nice series so far where we're talking about endgames for players under 1200 who meet every Friday. You can take that in addition to the other classes here, and the other classes being the live classes. Actually, I'll go quickly there to give a little spiel. There's our live classes. We're going to announce the live classes for February coming up. Let me give the right view there. And I think next month we're going to have 4 classes instead of just 3. Okay, let's go back. Next up, we have Jarko's back. He says, shout out to Luke. Luke's got 2 mentions, bro. So Luke is a young man from the Netherlands. He's working hard on his chess. I think he's around 1900. And it's really good for your young kid to coach, make a little bit of money, and use that coaching to improve your own chess. Been working with him for a few weeks, and his coaching plus training tips. Good, good. Exciting to see the rating climb and having fun learning more about the game. And we'll look at Evandro SM. All right, so here's it. Jarko's back. Very good heat map, especially beginning here in January. All right, so he's made the 900. Chess steps, okay. And now we're going to look for Jarko's back. There he is. So we got a time graph. We do. And this is very typical of a dojo game, or how I would like to perceive a dojo game, is that we're playing some rando online, and they can't think. They can't think. Now, notice Black got themselves into heavy time pressure. And really, at this rating where Jarko's is, he's already supposed to be playing, according to the dojo rules, a time control that's longer. I believe 30-30 is the minimum that we want him to play. And you can see he's ready for it. Evandro isn't ready for it, but he's ready for it. Okay. Good opening move so far. Fine. Fine. Now you're doing great. You're doing great. All right. Very grandmasterly position, honestly. And this is I think we want to talk about it, but I fundamentally like this decision. I don't like Black taking on C6. Or White taking on C6. And now F5. Yeah, incorrectamundo. Now, one of the things I want to compliment you on here is F5 is a strategic mistake, not a tactical one, right? And really, at this stage in your career, it's beautiful that you're already starting to think about it. Once you get past 1,000 dojo, that's really going to be the time to start doing strategic chess. And it's great that you just recognized it here. Let's just talk basics. What would, if you just looked at it, what would be the move you'd want to play? Oh, for sure, C5. Gives your bishop this square, gives your knight this square. You talk about B5, but that's, you don't even want you to think about that because you're opening up that rook. But just simple C5, and you've got complete control of the game. All right. White should think about that decision, honestly. Well, here we got a real spicy coconut here. Now, this is definitely where we need a little bit of thought, okay? White should consider knight takes D5. And I don't think you might, it's a very spicy position. Boom. That's a nice. But look, that's a cool looking check. But wasn't knight d5 even stronger with the I Chihuahua in our power? Right? Oh, this is spicy. This is real spicy. Yeah, there we go. What a mess. Okay, it's a blitz game, and then you ended up losing. I understand. My friends, I got to take a quick break. First, we got a question. If you join the Game Analysis Dojo, will your OTB be analyzed by the instructors or randomly when time's allowed? We have a list, so generally the groups are like 4 to 8 people, and it's when you join the group, you start at the bottom, you get a sense of how it works, and then you go up, and then people revolve through. And so it's not just about your own games, it's about seeing the games of others as well. As a previous person said about watching the grad show, is a lot of times you see your own mistakes in those of others, and that's definitely much more true. It's always true, but especially true in the grad show. All right, I gotta take a quick break. I'll be back.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Aragaisi. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 all accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Geisy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Mouse.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought Mverb from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis, lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the play.
All right, my friends, we are back to this madness over here. I'm a little under the weather. Some people in the chat are like, don't even stop this beautiful video. I promise I'll play it again. I promise it again. I'll play it again, but I won't leave you guys without it for long. Even my voice is dead. All right, so that was Jarkos. We're moving on here to Lord Scoopa. And Lord Scoopa says, been holding off on graduating for a while to see if I can hang. And for the most part, I feel like I can. Though my most recent game may say otherwise. The dojo has absolutely been one of last year's highlights. Beautiful, Lord Scoopa. Also, very impressive to make it out of 1,000. That to me is a big barrier. You're entering a realm where it's not just basic blunders. It's going to be about positional play, about ideas, deeper calculation. All right, here we go. Dude, he started in August of 24. That's amazing. Wow. Victim cycling as my physical sport at the moment. That's right. You should be lifting heavy things. I love cycling too, and I want to return to it myself. Okay, so clubs. Oh, he's got loads of clubs, dude. He's onto it over here. Okay, games. My games. And I just want to say today we've had a lot of people. Everybody's had a game, I think. I don't think there's been one person. Now, as you see, we go up the ranks, people start using a little bit longer time controls, and that's the way it should be. Here you got Lord Scoopa playing a great game in terms of time. Look at that. Very well done. Okay, so game review. Fine, good move. Good move. A little passive, but I'm okay with it. Okay. Knight b6 is more natural to keep the bishop open. Okay. Okay. Good moves? You're playing good moves. Good moves? Maybe A3, maybe A4, just to be developed. Okay. Weird. And then this move I don't understand. What are you doing? I mean, even if it were the case that this, yeah, it still wouldn't make any sense. Because even here you're still winning. You say thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. DEM, baby. Yeah. And now you're just totally winning. Beautiful. Now, Lord Scoopa, if there's a critique on this, it's that you've got 12 minutes left, and here you should be able, because you're up a piece, to play natural moves and not have to think too much about it. Like, that freaks me out. It's fine, but why are our knight's under attack? That freaks me out. Why are we making life complicated? Oh my God, our life is just getting so much more complicated here. I don't like the complications. Just take it. You want to trade. You want to trade, bud. You don't want to make it hard. So, but here's an example of how the milk goes bad, because it's already bad here. This isn't the blunder here. You're talking about rook c4. Oh, you actually have a good move, buddy. Well done, dude. Well done. Oh, man. That's funny. When he was talking about the mate sound, I didn't understand what he meant, Yeah, online, you get the little mate sound. Oh. Now, let me just say, this game got way more complicated than it should have, okay? Way more complicated. Even here on rook c4, I guess it's always mate, but yeah, it's always mate. So that's a great trick. But notice we've got to a point in the game where we needed a trick. This guy was down a piece and a pawn and a couple things, right? All right, so blunder. And what are we saying here? We're lost. Notice that he is also, well, he's not making life easy. What is he doing? He's hanging all his coconuts is what he's doing. Okay, so a winning endgame. We're going to see what your technique is like here. King f6. Check to the miserable king. Very nice. That doesn't do nothing. Thank you. I like these king moves you're doing. I didn't like that. Why give him the pawn? Don't give him the pawn. There's no rush. Good. All right, so a little sloppy, but some good moves in there. Definitely some good moves. And remember, at this stage in your career, maybe my stage too, you are up a piece. You do not make anything complicated. You trade those guys off. You don't need to be fancy, right? No need to be fancy. All right. Next up, we got blunders queens. Let's get this one going over here. Blunders queens joined us this last January. Maybe a New Year's resolution join. That's what I like to see. 1035. Clubs. Nothing. Games. Nothing. Now, maybe this annotated rapid games. But if these are rapid, we're already at the point where this is not enough time. Yeah, 10-minute games we don't do. And so, blunders queens. I can appreciate that if you just came to the dojo, you might be like, what do you mean I got to play longer games? You got to trust us. You need to play longer games to get the deep thinking going. Even if you desire to play 10-minute games to be the 10-minute champion of your neighborhood, you need to first play some longer games to get some deep thinking in. But still, welcome to the dojo, Blenders Queens. Now we got Jackaroo. These people have been doing a lot of work. All right, Jackaroo's over here. Looks like tactics for the new year for Jackaroo. 1140. What kind of clubs is he? Got Adult Improver Club. He's got some games. And these look like real games. So this is OTB. As we move up the ladder, we'll see more and more people playing OTB games. Is it MCC? Murfreesboro. I feel like that's in Tennessee or something. Hold on. Let's just do a little bit of geography for a second. I'm going to do a little geography. So, oh, I'm good. Tennessee, bro. I'm good. Yeah. I'm very good. Outside of Nashville there. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. So, do we got... No. Okay. It's possible. I know. It's hard. But you can bring in your times. It doesn't really say what the time control was. All right. So, let's get into it. Okay, a little weird. Fine. Okay. Okay, good development. A little weird, unnecessary. We want you to castle. I want you to castle. Good. Now, bishop e4 maybe, but it comes with deficits. G5, very impressive move. Very impressive move to be playing G5. Oh, okay. You want to come on the stream? Okay. Sure. Call me again. My student Jamil might join us here for a second. I'm on the stream. All right. So G5, very impressive move. By the way, one of the things I don't want to see is this kind of language, because I know that that is not you. I know that that is Lee Chess doing that for you. I just did invite you to the stream, bro, but you got to call me. All right. Jamil, can you hear me, bud?
Yeah. Hey, everybody.
Good. Check out this move that he just played, man.
You want to share your screen?
I kind of don't, because I'm worried it's going to break, but I'll share it one time. If it breaks, though, I'm not going to do it. All right, there it is. So,
I can.
you know, typical thing where white lost some tempi, and then castles. I kind of want white to castle at this level, but it ends up getting met with this bad boy. Look at this. Bam! Oh, no! That's a hell of a move.
Yeah, that's painful.
Look at that, he's coming. But now I think it's actually black who's the annotator. So I'm gonna flip this. And now it's just a pure blunder, DE4.
What's this guy's rating?
Like 1100. So now we're totally winning. G4, great move.
Is this guy Jim or Joe?
I think it's Joe. Because the way he's just writing about it.
Okay, he's 768.
Now, if I was playing black, I would just move the rook. One of these squares. I don't even care which. You're up a piece. There's no reason to be fancy about it at this point. Fancy is for when, you know, we want to think. Well, we only want to think when we're not entirely winning. Good move. Queen H3. And now, see, this is, by the way, new dojoer. So it's not even a copy paste. What happens is if you are on Lee Chess and you don't change the settings, it'll automatically analyze the game for you like a beast. And for us at the dojo, it's totally fine to analyze with the engine afterwards, but we really need your own mind on it first. Good. I don't know about a5. You could have taken on a3. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Good move. Okay. Now c4 him, baby. Give him the old c4. Ba-bam! Ba-bam! All right. Now here, see, he's double questioning marking himself, but that's because the computer sees something amazing, which if you didn't see c4 before, you're not going to see now, which is here you've got bishop c5 check. In fact, the key variation, the human variation, is this one and this one. Okay. So, my friends, this is why we need to do it without the computer. And now you're totally winning. Okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, good game. Welcome to the dojo. I understand it's your first annotation. It's not always the easiest thing to do. All right. Now, let's go back here. So, next up, we have, oh gosh, I think that was Jikaru, and I think we have Quentin here. Finally promoted to the next goer. Turns out chess improves when you actually calculate puzzles to the end, check whether deflection targets are protected, and analyze games by looking at all the business. Not just some pure vibes. You hear that, Jamil? No pure vibes, buddy. Jamil loves to go on pure vibes alone. That's his favorite.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what we're talking about. Okay, good. Thank you for being with us, Quentin. Okay, so a 40-year-old father of 2 boys. Oh, he's doing some powerlifting. Now, I don't know if you've been with this, Jamil, but the people who are in the Lifting Heavy Things Club on the dojo are noticeably making faster progress than everybody else. It's just a noticeable statistical thing.
Okay. What's your hypothesis as to why?
Well, definitely fitness in general, but I think there's something at play about the way strength works with your mind. Like, I'm sure exercise in general helps, but I think strength is different and is helping people. At the minimum, it helps with your confidence, in addition to the other obvious things. But I think there's something else, like something happening in the bone marrow with the mind. And of course, I'm not a scientist, but when I go and do this graduation show every time, the Lifting Heavy Things Club, which only has 51 members, they're graduating all the time, bro. All the time. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. My friends, please put it in the My Games folder. All right, so here we go. So, good usage of time, 30-30, good. C4, maybe a little weird, but we're not going to say nothing. Fine. Okay. Good. Okay, now you're in a very interesting position. All right. E3. And now B4 is a very important move. Basically, if you can achieve B4, B5, you're really in a massive position. And I realize that might take some experience to understand how powerful it is. Black, your opponent doesn't understand it though, and now plays bishop B7. Correctamundo is A6 followed by rook C8, just so that B4, B5 isn't achievable. H3, of course I want B4. I still want B4, baby. All right. And now B6, complete meltdown. And you write about a6. Very good. Very good. Good move. Look at that. Look at these bishops. And I think it's already gone now with bishop b7. Good move. A good move. You could play bishop c6 too. Yeah. I don't know. Good. Fine. Fine. This guy's melting like butter now. Bishop d7, please. Very nice. Takes, please. Takes, please. Ah, that's easy chess. That was a good game.
That was easy.
That was easy. And one of the things actually I want to say about this is, let me give you my spiel, Jamil, is that from like, when we get to 1,000 dojos, so that's like about 1250 ChessCon, that's the level where you don't always win games anymore by people hanging stuff. And the big thing people do hang is time. They give away tempo. And then there's also the beginnings of positional play. Like you can always do positional play under 1,000. It's just you're not going to have the ability to win the game because your opponent, you're not going to win the game by positional means because your opponent's going to blunder something.
Yeah.
So here, though, this is a good example of a positional mistake. And it's rip torn now. I don't think it's defensible at all. Sure, black could have put up more resistance, but it's just over. So it wasn't somebody hanging something per se, but it was all about this weakness. So, Chess Gone Mad doubts it. Well, I'm just saying, Chess Gone Mad, I don't have a full theory yet. I'm just telling you that I do this graduation show all the time, and it's the people who are lifting heavy who are making the fastest progress. And if we, there's other clubs out there. All right, here we go. So this is Seventh Stitch. This guy's been around for a while. I don't think I've seen him for a while. Here he says, people of dojo. I crossed the threshold of graduating a few months back, but I wanted to finish some material by getting close to 1400 before hitting that grad button. Still sticking to the same chess work routine every day. The only difference this time around is that I did a lot more work on tactics and certain mating puzzles, and I'm going to commit to it even more as I progress. Certain tactical themes aren't sticking with me, even though I have learned them. It is getting better, but I need to put in more work to see the tactics better and faster, especially pins and deflections. Okay, let's go check out. I believe Seventh, he's been with us for a while. Yeah, and look at this man. Look at this. He's not playing around, but he's not playing. He's doing a lot of non-dojo. I'm not sure what it is. He's 34 years old from Ireland. Okay. 1156. Definitely ready to graduate. He's an Irish Chess Club. Oh, here we're going to get some real games here, bud. Yeah.
You ever been to Ireland, Jesse?
No. Have you?
No, my wife's half Irish.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't been yet. I heard the Guinness is meant to be great there.
All right, here we go. So, good time graph, by the way. I'm going to put in the game review. All right, totally weird. I don't know what your opponent's doing. I think you're doing fine. So if you were going to make an argument for black, it's that he's got a Benko style stuff, but the center is not locked up. So definitely you need to protect your pawn. But, this is a big but. If you just castle now, you're still doing great. Great, because it cost him a tempo to take this pawn. You're about to play rook e1. If he takes on c3, you take back this way. So you still have a great position. All right, you took on e4. I wanted rook e1. Okay. So, a3. We don't like it. Loss of time. You talk about d4. Sure, you should play d4. So this is going to give black the time he needs to castle. Is he thinking about castling? No, he's not. By the way, if we were going to move a pawn, I think we should move this guy here to stabilize our bishop over there. Good move. Okay, a little sad. Now it's getting spicy. C4. Notice your opponent does not appreciate development. Okay, just does not care. And you don't either. What are you doing, rook b1? Play something like queen c2 to threaten the pawn. Just blundering stuff. So I don't like queen c2 in general because you're putting your queen on the same file as a rook is about to land on you. A little weird. Let's play bishop c4, please. All right, bishop f3 is fine. Oh, did I blow it? Maybe I blew it.
Jeez. Is there any way out of it?
No, I think the milk has gone bad. No, I still don't like the move. I think you could just play f3 and you've blunted this diagonal and you're fine. But he got tricked, a little surprising. And now I guess you're lost. That didn't help. Rook e4 was definitely not good. So many players at this level make their lives hard. Why not just capture the knight? Why make it hard? Everybody's getting fancy. That's all I'm seeing here. Poor move. Why are we checking? Snip. Snip. All right. He resigns. He lost on time. All right. So what was that about? Even though you're above 1,000, it was a blunder which got the best of you. And you know, it's not a hard when I make this thing about 1,000 dojo, 1250 chess.com being a level where, you know, blunders don't happen. Of course they still do. Of course they still do. Okay. Well done, though. And now we got Mr. Pregla. Let's go over here. So he says, as mentioned in my bio, I love that the training plan is targeted for each level. Other training sites I looked at had more of a one-size-fits-all methodology. I also enjoy being able to jump on channels in Discord and just listen to better players analyze positions. This is educational as well as I hear their thought process in different positions. All right, we're going to look at your game against Guego. Great. He's Joe. He's got a USCF of 1541, but that was 15 years ago. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're going to give him a follow. And Guego. Here's our guy. And we got this. Oh, so I think this is one of these 3-day games. I'm not a huge fan of 3-day games, but that's what I think 72 hours every move means. You get 3 days for every move. All right. That's a long note that I don't understand. You can see nose, all is in there, but I don't understand why it's such a long note. Okay. Check to the miserable king. A6. My understanding is queen c6 doesn't do much because like you're still going to get whacked out with bishop b7 after rook b8. All right, c takes d4 seems more natural. Maybe you can do this rook c8 move. It looks real bad though if he gets to go touch us like that.
Jesus.
But maybe it isn't. Maybe just queen b6 like you played. So it scares me, but maybe it's not so bad.
And what you consider first?
So first of all, one of the reasons to go through this kind of quickly is these correspondence players, they all use, it's a weird thing, you know, they're allowed to look at the opening databases, which I don't like it. I really don't like it. So, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it too much. But then if they're out of their book and then they do this, what are we talking about?
I don't understand this.
All right, C takes D4 is fancy. Knight D5. Also, I don't know if there's anything wrong with like Queen B6 or something. That seems to help you. At least it clarifies the position for you. At any of these points, you could play CD4. Now you're just winning. That's a fancy move. He's like going for a cheap shot over here with Bishop H3. There we go. Chess is easy. It's not hard. Just taking all the coconuts. Don't fall for that one. Uh-oh. What is he doing? He's just letting you trade off. Okay. So, Mr. Pregler, I think there's a couple other people who are doing this daily. I have very mixed feelings about it. In particular, like this thing where they look at the database. That's not chess. And also then you're going to get cheaters, because once you get people looking at the database, it's so hard for them not to then look, you know, so hard. And you saw what this happened is like, let's just talk about this as a sample. This guy played GM level chess up to here and then plays rook A7. Then rook takes B7. What are you doing? Chess Gone Mad, it is possible to be a coach, anyone to be a coach. And in general, what we want is people who are in the program, such as Luke, who have done it for a while, who understand the program. Those are the people that we're going to promote on our site. Okay, so.
Anyone can be a coach.
Essentially, you know, but they have to, you know, have done the program. So it's not anyone. And they have to, you know, they're not going to promote them if they're in somehow bad standing.
Is there a minimum rating to be a coach?
We haven't set that, no. You know, like the poet is a coach, and he's about your rating. And I think Luke is, the Dutch kid, is about your, maybe a little higher than you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we have other people lower than that, but I'm not really against having people lower than that either. Okay, here we have the famous Holger. He's been with us a couple times. So, happened sooner than expected. Consistent work. There it is, my friend. This is going to be inspirational for Jamil Ben, because that guy, dude, he's been lax. Oh, lax.
I've countries, buddy. Cut me some slack.
Here's Holger over here. All right, so aus Deutschland, mid-50s, like myself. He's an older dude. He's working on it. Really impressive. Very impressive. Okay. Good. All right. Games. Here we go. Here's Holgit. So in this game, a little bit of an odd time control. At this level, maybe Holger should be playing, well, Holger definitely should be playing a longer time control. But Jamil has the same problem. I can't get him to play a longer time control. He should be playing.
I played a longer game today.
Yeah, it still wasn't long enough. You played a 60-0. It needed to be 60-30 for your cohort. I can show you.
Always.
Did you say always complaining?
Yeah.
That's who I want to be. All right. I think this is a fine move, and I definitely don't think he should blunder the pawn. So, Queen E2 has got to be played. So, blunder. Very good. And now that's a fancy move. That's a fancy move. I think you're going to get away with it, because now he trades pieces. Good. And now you play knight d5. Very simple and strong. So, very nice play. Good. Okay.
Bishop d6 looks a little bit sus.
You're right. You're right. Bishop e7 would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And then here in this position, knight takes d6 really clarifies a lot of the uncertainties in black's position, like this queen. So rook c1 would have been a little bit more annoying to face. Knight f4 is fine. I would have liked to see b6 and bishop b7. I think this is fine. a6, I don't know. I want you to play b6, but okay. I want you to play bishop b7, but I understand what you're doing. Passive move. Poor move. Thank you. Check to the miserable king. Knight c3. Very nice. Very nice. Very sweet. Very sweet. Now, he has, miraculously, he's got this move here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But notice now, white is also pinned now. I'm pretty certain the safer move would have been queen takes b4 for white. Now, Jamil, let's do black to move and win in this position.
Black to move and win.
Thank you, Net Starts Goes.
Sorry.
Rook
a8. Yeah, rook a8.
Let's say queen b2.
Queen takes rook.
Right. So rook a8, queen b2, queen b4, queen takes, rook a8.
Wait. Hold up, Jesse. That might not work. No, go back. Rook a8. Does he not have knight e1?
Oh, we got to be careful. We do got to be careful, bro. Okay. Okay. We got to be a little careful. Good question. Let's actually show that. Jamil caught a good one there. That would have been a blunder. That would have been an Unk GM blunder right there. Yeah. Or actually, I think we can go ahead and say that was an Unk GM blunder. Right there. Still, let me just say, it is rook a8 is the first move. We can talk about other moves after that, but rook a8 is the first move. All right, boom, boom, boom. Okay. I still want rook a8. Okay. I don't understand h5. I don't understand h6.
I don't understand queen d5.
He did achieve this, though, so you can't give him too much. Oh, he blundered that. People are blundering things. Queen g5 seems, I don't know, it's a bad life here. Yeah, we needed to talk about this. We needed to talk. I don't know what happened here, man.
This is a bit painful to watch.
But there it is, rook g6, and now he's finally done. Okay, Hoget, so the end game, what we would have wanted is not so much better play, actually. Me and Jamil can snicker all we want, but the most important thing we want, actually, is more analysis at this phase of the game. In general, when the phases of the game where you don't look in your own analysis, that was also the phase of the game you were checked out yourself. Okay, and I should have done the two-pane thing, but I didn't. Here we go. We're going back. This is the tired runner who just continues to continue. So here we go. He says consistent work is paying off. 12-16. He says flying up there, man. This is the young man's club. Cardio enjoyers. I think that's got to be, well, you know, I think I want people actually to start joining this club. Now I've been talking smack about the strength club. I do think you could make a strong argument that if you had people who were committed to doing some kind of cardio, like Tired Runner, that they're also going to make progress. So I think that's what Tired Runner's doing. I think this is a hidden jab. It's a not so hidden jab against the lifts heavy things group. It's a not so hidden jab from Tired Runner here. Okay, I love it, Tired Runner. Great. So we got one here. We got a time graph. Oh, so here we go. This is a lot of times when Jamil played online, it would look like this. Just some chump not thinking at all. And what we really are hoping for is that when we get to move 28, that our tired runner is actually not checking out. He's maybe got a winning position, because here he's moving too fast himself. All right, let's get into it. Good moves. A little funky. I think this is correct. Poor. Good. F5, interesting. Interesting. D6, H4, poor, not developing. Knight E7, I think that's good. B4, not it. Now you play bishop G1, that looks pretty good to me. You talk about knight D5, bishop D4. Yeah.
Bishop G1's fine though.
It looks like it's winning, so it's hard to criticize.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I am a little worried about your queen, but I think you're okay. Ooh, I don't like that. Why are we doing that to ourselves?
Just bishop D7 probably?
Yeah.
Long puzzle.
Here you're scratching at the itch. Okay, weird. And now maybe he's fine. Notice that you have a development problem here. So you talk about bishop d7. It's got to be correct. I think white's going to be better there. You give a long line. I like that you give a line where you try to analyze it. You go back. So you're really behind in development here. Now, notice, I'm not sure about this move. What does white need? White needs a way to activate the bishop and the rook.
So like C3, possibly followed by D4.
Well, if you want to play d4, just play d4.
You could just play it, yeah.
The most obvious one is bishop e2. And if bishop d7, we can think about this move just to say, nope, I don't want you castling anytime soon. It's definitely unpleasant. In fact, we're going to call that most unpleasant. Okay, so c4, loss of time. Frisky. Why is this frisky? Because you're allowing f6 at any point here. In fact, f6 now looks like it would definitely touch your coconuts. By the way, Jamil, I don't know if you know this, but if you look at my shirt, this is the shirt. It's got a little chest piece and a coconut on it. See that, bud?
Oh, is that merch?
That's, well, so my under 1,000 group in the live classes, we actually were doing this. We had a class going since before we started the live classes, and they on their own initiative were like, we got to start the coconut club. So they put this shirt together, bud. And so I got this shirt, this nice shirt. It's called the Coconut Collectors.
Okay, that's cool. Well, it's good to know you weren't touching anyone's coconuts.
Anyways, f6 looks like a beast to me. No one sees the problem.
Just f6 down, no?
There he goes, f6. Now our king is discombobulated. Maybe bishop h3. I kind of want something like rook h7. Good move. Did I understand that? No. Now you can just go win the f6 pawn. Good. Good. In this position, by the way, dude really needed to play rook here to snag this one.
Yeah.
I guess he still got it. No, blunder. Oh, no. Rook a2, he's still totally fine. Okay, my friends, as a rule of thumb, the king and pawn endgame down a pawn is lost. Now, this move does not look intuitive to me. Maybe you're still winning after b6, my friend, but this guy, how does he play a role? It seems like you're probably going to have to do this, affect that break, and then go all the way back here and then affect that break. I don't know.
Wait, what? What? No, that's fine. I just if he just pushes the F pawn, and then it's running.
Well, he's got to still make the pass pawn after he pushes the F pawn. But here, no one knows what they're doing here, so black's just walking in. Definitely better here is king g4. King will eventually have to move. We push him out. This is where, wait, time out. So sometimes I forget to go to the pane where I show the notations and just the game, and I leave it. Sometimes I purposely leave it open for the time, and I'm so happy I left it open for the time because no pass pawn. The most important thing that you need to see for your chess development is over here, move 28. We had a thought, we were just on the time graph. I said, I hope when he gets here, he's totally winning. Because tired runner got tired. And I know that sounds mean and cruel and unfair, but this is what happens to advanced players too, especially online. It's easy to get tired, and you're just making impulsive decisions here. So the most important thing, forget all the analysis we just did. The most important thing for you to recognize is that your mind was working here, and then you checked out here. Now, why do people check out? Because in the end game, it's harder. You got to calculate more. So for example, let's go to this b6 move for a second. Where are we here? So black is winning this position. He's up a pawn. It's still a little complicated. I get it. You're a little afraid of c5. I understand, right? But what we want you to see is that after b6, there's a lot to calculate. Are you winning? Because there's a compromise, because now the pawn can't easily be made into a pass pawn. Makes sense, right?
But even so, after b6, just king e6, f5.
I'm just saying he doesn't know. He did it in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's not just here. We go back here to move 28. There's some complicated things happening here, my friend. And it was actually more around here where he stopped thinking entirely. So people think it's in their head, they're like, oh, obviously I got to do this. This is some really complicated stuff. This is hard. This is where chess art happens. Is f6 going to crush you? Is he going to be able to put a bind onto you? Right? So, and we've seen it before. It's the end game where the lower rated players stop thinking. All right, good annotation. Anybody can heed that advice. I see it all the time. Here we got Burama. And Burama over here, let's give him a follow. Joined the end of last year. A little bit negligent doing his...
Jesse,
yeah.
Look at this guy's Discord tag.
I don't want to look at it. Why did you tell me? Why did you have to tell me that?
I couldn't not mention it.
You could have. You could have not mentioned that, dude.
No.
No, I think there was a way for you not to mention that, buddy.
No, it wasn't a voluntary thing, Jesse.
He would probably say it's also not voluntary. All right, Burama.
What a name.
Yeah. So we need some games from you. I understand you just joined the dojo, but hopefully we'll see that from you soon. Looks like you're doing great, though. Next up, we got Spider. Oh man, I'm gonna get done today, but it's a lot. I bet Jamil's gonna poop out before I finish. Here we go.
How much longer are you gonna be?
I go until it's over, bud. I'm a finisher.
I'm sure you are, just like Burama.
I knew you were gonna do it. I set you up.
Well, it's 10 p.m. for me, so I might have another 20 minutes and then I'm out.
Then you go do a barong. All right, here we go. This is Spider. I was under the impression that ChessDojo would tell me when to start allocating some of my studying time to play on Chess.com. When I realized they don't. I graduated twice in 2 weeks' time. Dang. You're doing well, Spider. 12:07. The man is working. He's the poser Spider. let's see. Any clubs? No clubs. Tell us something about yourself, Spider. All right, so it looks like we got his game again with Ahmad against Jimmy. And we got a time graph that's pretty bizarre. Okay, it's a short game. That's why it's bizarre. It's not actually bizarre, it's just a short game. Oh, I reviewed this. I reviewed this last week because he's graduating so fast. Let's see, I think there's also this one, but that's a little older. Okay, so Spider, you're doing great, bud. You're doing great. Next up, we got Colin Vernon. Colin is pretty new here. Clubs. Okay, we got a beautiful UK dojo. No games yet. He's got all these files set up, but I don't see any games yet. Again, all your games, it's fine to make extra files, but all of your serious games should be in My Games. Colin, welcome to the dojo. Hopefully we'll see a game from you soon. All right, next up we got Ryan. And he's got a game for me to review. We'll copy paste it because I'm the Unk GM. That's a long thing for me to copy paste, but all right, here we go. All right. That's true, Charles Hamilton. Famous Charles Hamilton is back. All right, this guy has gone up incredibly. Look at that, 406. He's getting up there. He's getting up there. Okay. So, yeah, Jamil, you got to stay until we get around some people around your level, bud.
No.
All right, this is Ryan. In fact, he gave me a game to look at, so we're going to do that. Ba-bam. So, Ryan did not do good with the time. So here also, we're going to keep the time graph open because he pieced out on move 9. So we're going to see how this went. The famous Schliemann. Okay. And then he calls this unorthodox. I call it non-developing. So bad move. The friskiest. Now, I have some misgivings about this move. So, because if you play d6 or castles, you're going to have a fine game. So this is very ambitious what you're doing. Snip. Snip. Dude plays queen e2. Bishop g4. That's an exciting position. All right, so bishop c4, he calls a double question mark. And the overwhelming problem is this knight e5 thing. Now, I just want to say I'm not 100% understanding. So he says queen f5 is the best move. Now, how about white just castles like a normal person, though? That's got to be the question. Right? That's got to be the question. Now, I guess, knight d4, there's queen e5. It's complicated. It's complicated. All right, here we go. What's that, bud?
Long castles there. No?
Maybe, yeah. All right, so snip in general, we don't want this snip because now the dark squares are weak and you've just taken away the knight's square. Oh, very dangerous. Okay. And again, this guy is obsessed with moving his bishop around. He's totally obsessed with moving his bishop around. No one understands.
d5 maybe?
I think you mean e4.
Yeah, my bad. e4.
So this is a good example of him holding himself back because as he writes, there's this nasty little bishop f5 check. Now, let's try to go a little deeper, though. Could we have played queen e6? At the minimum, I guess he could go back at that point. Okay, so that's nothing special. So, good move, rook h e8. Another tempo loss. I like it. I wanted bishop g6, but okay, you're doing this. You're obsessed with the f3 stuff. So bishop g is setting up a trap because bishop g5 is met by bishop f3. Bold. Queen f3 would have been a little more circumspect. So we don't want to trade queens here, so we got to say queen e6 is no bueno. Right? Anything that doesn't trade the queens here, you're going to have the advantage. Fancy. I think white should have traded the queens, but white is losing time like nobody's business. He's just losing it all over the place. All right, knight d6, good move. I don't understand that move. He's just hanging a pawn here.
Queen f3, yeah.
Check to the miserable king. Nice move. Knight saves the day. Very good. Okay, so Ryan, listen up. Forget chess for a second, and I just want you to notice that we had a very complicated position moving move 9, and from that point on, you just checked out, bud. You just checked out, okay? All right. Important to see. That's the most important thing for you right now. Now, the first thing, because Jamil has primed my mind for filth, that I saw raw boners here. That's what I saw. Okay.
Oh, God.
That's your fault, Jamil. It's not my fault.
That's not my fault. My mind didn't go there.
All right, so this is raw, as they say. Okay, local club. All right.
See, will you repeat that?
No, I'm not. He's 1405. He's in the Dutch dojo. We got 37 people. That's cool. I want to go back to Holland and play some chess, bud. All right, so he's playing an external opponent. Well, everything's external when you got some raw boners going on.
What is it with these participants? To be honest?
Oh, he's an external opponent. Okay, cry, hold it together, buddy. Okay, so it looks like this is an OTB game of some kind. The Zuckertort winning game. Okay. We do want some times here, of course. All right, so let's get into it. I'll go this one. So poor. Something either like bishop b5 or d4. Now, I think from his description of the event, he called it the Zuckertort or something like that. The Zuckertort, it's a little weird. You're like playing a black opening as white. But sometimes you might play a3 in the Zuckertort. But bro, it's not here. So this is an example of an opening leading this man astray. If he was just playing by principles, he would have played either d4, bishop b5, or bishop e2. Okay. Okay, maybe f4 too. There it is, f4. Well, it's very typical to play f4 here, so I don't know if I'd call it weakening. Now, poor move, not developing. Now, your overall issue, though, let's be clear about it, is your knight. And so black needs to come up with creative ways to prevent you from moving that knight. This is not it. Also this, what are we doing? We need to fix the knight. What's the move? It's got to be d3. You're talking about rook f3, and that's all cool and stuff, but you're not going to mate him without your knight. You got to get the knight in.
What do you think of b5? Sorry, not b5, g4.
Don't like it.
Because
Are you winning? Are you winning it? Maybe if you're winning something, actually. Oh, maybe that was it. Well, that would have been an external opponent right there.
And then if bishop
Yeah, that's it, boss.
e3, bishop back, f5, and you win the bishop. Oi, yeah.
Yeah, so hold on. So bishop e7, I mean, it definitely wasn't a good move. Turns out f4 even had a threat. I didn't realize you had a threat. And then this one you got to yell at yourself for. So for two reasons. One, you missed the tactical g4. But the knight got to get developed. So if you don't see g4, you got to be thinking about your knight. Okay, interesting. I play bishop c3. You know, you're losing time. Interesting move. I like that move.
Does the tactic still not exist?
Oh, but look what happened. It was actually maybe a mistake. Yeah, the tactic's not going anywhere, Jamil. The tactic is simply always there.
h6 or something.
So, notice what happens. This is far more complicated, what white does here to win his pawn. So that was clever. That was far more complicated than g4. And we still want ed5. Well, the g4 is still winning.
Yeah.
Now it's not winning anymore. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Still g4.
Positionally, he's doing great. I don't like this. I don't understand what the knight's doing. Nice move. Very nice move. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what black gets for being a little too frisky over there. So, by the way, this bishop h5, far more complicated than the move with g4 f5 that you missed several times. So, well done. Okay. Oh, and another nice move here. Very nice. I'm sure you're winning no matter what you do, but that's a nice move. Check. Yeah. Well played. Okay.
Very well played.
At the end, anyway. Yeah. We were screaming at you for a while there, though. Okay. So that was... I'm not going to say his name. We're not going there anymore. And now 8 bells feels illicit to me, too. I don't know why. Here we go. Let's read what 8 bells has to say here. As an adult learner and a crusty old retired person, I really appreciate the structure of the training the dojo has. I think I've learned more in the past few months than the past few years combined. I try to maintain a steady pace of training. Being a caregiver for my wife, this has been a form of stress relief and entertainment. A few points. Annotate. 2, reviewing with other players. Beautiful. 3, more information and training available that can suit anyone looking for a structured program. Great vids, though. Thank you. The only negative for me, the digital/social learning curve. Still not good at the whole social media, Discord voice thing. Yeah. Thank you. I think that's fair. You know, it's a necessary evil for us. I think even Jamil will admit, who also despises Discord and such, that from the beginning, we have made the site much more easy to use. Like the learning curve is now a lot less steep than it used to be.
The site is, but I had to learn how to use Discord, and it feels mildly esoteric at first. You know, daunting when you see all these channels and whatnot. And bear in mind, I consider myself a fairly tech savvy person. I've just never used Discord before.
Right. Oh wow! Look at this guy. So 8 bells. Chess for seniors. This guy's my guy. He's been doing it since 1975. And really, look at that. He's ready to graduate again. Yeah, okay. Looking good. He has been working since the end of the summer, too. Looks like he's got 2 graduations. Maybe we'll see him next week, too, because he went up to 1668. All right, beautiful stuff. 65 plus. That's the real potatoes right there. That's the real potatoes. All right. So, my games. Oh, he's got loads. Okay. Beautiful notes. All right, so we're going to keep the time open to see if both players checked out around move 22. And I have to take off the coconut shirt. The coconut shirt, it's hot, buddy. It's hot. So give me just a second. I'm going to the side here where you can't see me. Taking it off. Well, Jimmy, I've been sick, bud, and it's cold. We're going to get a snowstorm here, bud. I don't know. You don't know about snowstorms. I don't think. I know it sometimes snows in England, but you guys don't really get crushed. At least not in England, right?
Not in the UK, no.
Yeah.
And in Dubai we get sandstorms. So.
Oh, dude, yeah. Have you been in one of those yet?
A sandstorm.
Yeah.
To be honest, you don't really notice it that much. You can see it because we have a view over the skyline, so you can see it gets really like foggy and whatnot. And they have, like, you know, those emergency notifications you get on your phone.
Yeah.
Where they'll say avoid going outside because the air quality is so bad.
Right.
But we only had like one of those in the how many months have we been here now? 4 months I've been here.
So, all right, when we're gonna get one of the biggest storms ever on Saturday night, Sunday morning, and it's gonna be like lots of snow. And so the city is gonna be kind of out of commission for like a day. But the point I'm driving at is the snow will eventually melt. What happens to the sand? What happens to all that sand in the city?
I don't know. I mean, you don't see sand on the streets, so I guess it just blows away with the wind.
No, you got to have somebody cleaning it up. It doesn't just simply blow away.
But you don't see it at all. Like in downtown, there's I don't think I've seen a single grain of sand on the actual tarmac.
Okay. All right, so this guy is doing what Jamil does. He sometimes preps for people. So here we go. All right, a little passive, but okay. 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 Good. All right. So, A3 seems a little soft to me, but it's not the end of the world. Fine. Fine. And what I like about Black's position is that he's got really like a simple structure that I feel like he understands. Now, the computer doesn't like these positions too much because it really likes the bishop. But that's, especially at this, even at my level, it's not that big of a thing. Now, I would be more drawn to queen e7 because if our knight's going to go to d5, I'm going to want to be able to defend the f7 square so that I can castle. So that's why queen c7 looks a little wrong to me. Good move. Good play by white so far. All right, we decide to keep the bishop. And now we're definitely worse. In fact, like even if it was Black's move here, it would be worse because it's really hard to know what to do. Reasonable move. And you say, give me that bishop. Okay. And now we get this one. So as we said, the f7 square was weak. Queen h5. He goes on his journey. And you say, you know what? I'm just going to invite you in here, boss. All right, so from my perspective, if you can't trap the queen, then this was a bad decision. It was a bad decision. But to be fair, after queen h5, you were suffering pretty good. All right, so Duke plays knight d2, and I want to just say I have no idea what that move is about. I have no idea. Come in, mess with them a little bit. And now we get hg8. All right. I don't understand a lot of this. So there was d5. Also this thing where we're setting him up for bishop d3. So king b1. And now, what does this little note say here? Include diagram in position in PDF. So I think rook h7 is the big question, and there's bishop d3. He blunders this way, though, and now the rook's toast. So he lost his mind. He's kind of losing his mind anyway with moves like king b1 and knight f3. All right, so now is around this point where he stops thinking. So he should be able to finish this fairly soon. Why does it last so long is a good question. Knight b6 definitely is wrong, though, because it's like this knight has one thing it can do, and that's coming to e5. So that's not good. Yeah, now we're just getting passive. Rook, yeah. Bishop g5, good move. Thank you very much. Simple chess. Check the miserable. Good move. Makes me a little frightened. But I think it's okay. Check to the miserable. Good, I like this. Yeah, well done. Yeah, well done. Okay, so no complaints on the end there. So with the time, I'm not upset. And really, when we look at it, I'm going to guess, by the way, that your opponent had seen something like this in his own prep, because this is something the old timers, you know, before 1970 weren't really aware of, that how powerful it was to push the knight away and to get the bishop in. But the computer loves it now. It's just a thing the computer loves. So I think your opponent was essentially on prepared juice going into the game. I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm just saying he'd probably prepared it. And then later, he just had no clue of what he was doing. Okay. So, well done. And we'll continue here with Samuel. Samuel looks like they just joined. Graduated already twice. 1582. Great. Does he have any games? Lee Chess Classical games. I don't know. I'm loading. Oh, we do. Everybody's got games. Okay, so he's got a nice time graph. At this level, we do want you to be playing longer than 30-30, but we're going to look. It's because you're new to the dojo. So here we go. Okay. Knight c3 is a little weird. Okay, good. Fine, good move. Good move. Fine. He does it. All right, both pawn and queen look good to me. I guess I like queen better, but this is fine. I don't like that move. You knew that, though. I don't like that move, but you knew that. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, Jamil? Oh, why do we gotta make it so hard? All right, he plays c takes d5. For my money, I don't know exactly what's going on, but stick that knight in there. I don't know what white's doing. Now, if he gives you 100,000 Tempe, maybe you're gonna do something to him over here. h5 also came to mind. Jeez, this guy's no fear. Look at this, Jamil. I don't understand that move. Now his knight's terrible. And now we go for it. Rook f4, okay. Knight e4, okay. Look at this guy. He brought it together. And this is what's going to happen if your opponent does something terrible like he did with his knight. Dang, take it easy, bro. Oh, baby! Bang! All right, let's go back and talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, some moves were a bit sus there, I think, as well.
Well, let's just say you've got a fine position here, okay? And from here, you end up doing a lot of, let's call them raunchy things. And they end up working out for you, but it's because your opponent doesn't appreciate their own pieces. Like, their knight is actually better here than it ends up being on a3. And that's like 1,000 tempi later, right? So, in general, you should mistrust this g5 thing because it's going to be hard for you to actually mobilize your pieces there. In the end, you do it well, and I think it is a very cool achievement, what you were able to do, and then the follow-through. And maybe something to just see, too, in terms of how you won this game was it was because your opponent played planlessly and then with the poor piece on a3. Note, it wasn't because they were just hanging stuff. It came about through positional play, right? Okay, well done. That was fun. That was a fun game to look at. It's a nice mate, too. Now we got LG double-double. See, we might finish today, bud. All right, LG double-double says, I gained almost 260 USCF in 2 tournaments back-to-back, but just fell short of breaking 1,600. Life got in the way in the new year, so I've been mostly playing online leagues again, and League Chess is driving my graduation. Biggest driver of my improvement right now is 1001 chess exercises for club players. It's in the dojo. Being forced to actually find all the defensive resources for my opponents is eye-opening. It would be great if there were more explainer vids on the higher endgame algorithms. In particular, minors promoting pawns ones were very hard to figure out alone. Okay. So, well, we definitely have it as a long-term project to have vids for all of the algos. We're almost there. We have for almost all of them. But I think it's good. Thank you for the critique there. We're looking for Vivi. All right, so in Seattle, rock climbers and chess players. Do you think that's true, Jamil? You think there's a lot of rock climbers and chess players?
I mean, it's an intersect that's probably, no. It feels like a small subset of society, put it that way.
There's a lot of rock climbers where I am. You know, I've tried to get my kids into rock climbing a little bit, unsuccessfully, but I hung out at that gym a little bit with them, and it's popular. There's like a lot of people there. Okay, here we go. Clubs. Oh, he's got all kinds. He's in the Nose Crew, Chess Steps, Seattle Meetup. There we go. That's what I want to see. Seattle used to be, maybe still is, a little bit of a chess hub. We played the U.S. Championship there 2001 and 2002. All right, here we go. Some games. We're looking for Viviop. There he is. Ah, and here it is, the standard online chump. Not able to think at all. Just at all. Okay, I'm so happy, though, that you did, and that should be our competitive advantage. So even if this person turns out to be a genius, we should still have the edge on them because they are not able to think. All right, a little weird. Maybe a stonewall setup. Fine. Good move. That's pretty soft. All right, good. Yeah, and I want you to play c5 or just move your bishop out. So knight b6 made no sense. Now, a5 is weird. Knight c8. Okay, that's now you're showing me something. Very nice, actually. We're going to give you a lot of credit for this. So even though knight b6 wasn't great, it is really, in fact, cool what you are doing here. Very nice. e4, good move. Knight d6, excellent. Oh, he's playing some good positional chess. And now c4 seems to me unbelievable. Okay, c6 is maybe, but why? Why do we need to play c6? Probably just knight e4 followed by e4. F6, I mean. Knight g4. That's called, Jamil, that's called playing with your pretty piece. See? He's got all these other pieces, and he's got one pretty piece, and he's going to think that he can just pirouette around. Look at that. He's consumed with fear about our poor, beautiful knight. Now you took bishop f8 comes to mind.
Queen d7.
Yeah, that's a good move right there. Now maybe knight f5 so you can put the bishop on d6. Good. We win the file. Very nice. Oh, this isn't chess. Very nice. Look at that. We're just hurting him here. Rook e6. Oh, no. Oh, no, bows.
What do you want?
Queen e6, the move I wanted to play, but I didn't fight hard enough to make it work. But wait a second. What? I get it. So what he's saying is he was terrified of knight e3, not understanding that he could play knight takes, and if king takes, he picks up all the coconuts at the club. Okay, yeah. And honestly, you also thought about it. So I want to say, first of all, you've played beautiful positional chess to get here. Your opponent's played kind of, let's say, typical mistakes at this level. And yeah, it's a shame with rook e6, but you're still better. This is just kind of helping him trade off. But you're still better. You played knight c4, either queen g3, h3, like you said, or g6. g6 is a nice move just to give your bishop some squares, give your king some luft.
And take away squares from the knight.
Now you say black is better here. I don't know. I don't know. It's not clear to me that one side's better than the other here. b3 doesn't help. I don't understand knight e8 at all. I don't understand that. Yeah, we've really discombobulated. Look, c4. Dude, if we were talking to white, we'd be like, bro, fix your king, fix your bishop. Don't be messing around over there. Oh, now it's interesting. So, it was beautiful until here. Oh, no. And what's so sad about this, too, is that bishop was his worst piece forever, and we let it out. And now this chump who didn't think at all wins the game. Ah, it hurts. That one really hurts. Well, I'm sorry about that, buddy. You were winning. You were definitely playing a good game there. Dang. So large double. You're doing. It feels like you have some good positional understanding, and so that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. All right, Kratwich wrote me a novel. This is the last novel of the day, though, so let's get it over with. Kratwich says, this graduation was a lot of work to get to and felt like I finally started doing some real work, though it was a story of the good, the bad, and the truly ugly. The good, I've done some serious work on building up tactics, finishing program mate in 3s and the assigned mate in 2s. Excellent. Jamil hasn't done that yet. He's sitting on his butt all day long, and I tell him about it, and he don't do nothing. As a result, I'm seeing a lot more over the board in games, and that's both creating attacking chances and saving a lot of points. I've also shored up my endgame knowledge. Shout out to Morgan and my cohort for helping me spar all this out. And I'm starting to look ahead much more to what type of endgame I'm going to get and what I should be aiming to get out of it. The bad. I thought I'd shaken my rapid addiction until no chance. Oh, Jamil's got that bad too. I've been spending far too much time on meaningless games. Meaningless games with at best slight analysis. Jamil, this guy's talking to you, buddy. Yep. The ugly. The dojo time rating was a real reality check. My time management absolutely sucks, and I've frequently been getting ratings of sub 500 or even an occasion 0. I'm dreading moving up to 60-30 games as I have both problems of moving too fast in general and even in games where I start spending my time well, tailing off after move 20-25. I would really like sensei advice on how to change and build my thought process, aside from play less rapid, which I think I figured out the hard way. When I'm sitting looking at the board with an hour on the clock, what should I be thinking about to bend the curve to where I know it needs to get to? Okay, I have seen many folks have this problem, and it happens at different rating levels, but for you, it's really critical. So for example, we got a guy in the under 1,000 live classes, great guy, really trying hard, and he is just moving way too fast. And they're playing faster games there. And it's killing his progress. But for you, it's even more important because these longer games are it's not just competitive where you're going to grow. I mean, you're going to win some rating points. It's also the spot where you're going to grow as a player for you to play the longer games, right? So we're going to look at a game, but I'm going to say, Kratwich, the most important thing is when you go over your games and look at the time you spent, that's going to be the most important step. Just being aware of how fast you are going. Okay, I might have more to say, but let's go look at one of your games. All right. He's an older dude too. Jamil, you're good with corporate words. What does C-level exec mean?
Chief.
Chief. Okay.
Yeah, so CEO, Chief Executive Officer, COO, Chief Operating Officer. So it just means...
Yeah. You got a C next to your name. That's what it means.
You got a C next to your name. Yeah.
Okay, good. So Kratwich, he's been putting in the work. I don't always think that there's connections between chess and the outside world, but I do feel pretty strongly that one of the things chess can teach us is to humble ourselves into making less impulsive decisions. And that's got to help at the C-level exec level. That's just too intuitively strong for me that there couldn't be a connection there. All right, let's look at his clubs. Oh, he's in Wales too, man. Look at that. All right. So here we go. Games. Here's Kratwich over here against Espinosa. First off, time graph. Oh yeah, he's got the he's got those jelly beans over there, huh? Popping all around. Let's go look at another one just to see if we see a pattern here.
He's got what? Jelly
He's got
beans?
those jelly beans. Yeah, I just made that up. But when you got this popping around in your head.
Where's the connection?
There's the jelly beans again there, bud. Look at that. Let's just see how many jelly beans we got. Oh, yeah, there's some jelly beans. Look at that, dude. He's not thinking at all, bro. He diagnosed his own problem. Look at that. This is insane. Oh! Kratwich, bro. Oh, man, he's got some real jelly beans, man. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go back. We're going to look at the first one on the list, and it's clear that Kratwich has identified the problem. So the guy in the under 1,000 cohort, really nice guy named Bill Fisher, and his goes by G-Hit Chess. You could maybe commiserate with him. He's got a very similar issue. He has made more progress than you, however, because, yeah, you're dying. And you even talk about how you're pleased with your time management here, but it don't look great here. It don't look great, Kratwich. But it's true that if you make a step from the other games that I saw to this, then yes, that's improvement. Yeah. Okay. Next thing I want to stress, I feel pretty confident that if you were playing an OTB game, it would be easier for you to think longer. In general, people are distracted in front of their screens, and because they're distracted, it's hard to think. It's hard to focus. And when it's hard to focus, people break down and make the impulsive move. Okay. So I'm hoping that's helpful. And honestly, all this stuff that we're doing here, in terms of analyzing your game, it pales in comparison to what we just talked about with time. You're playing beautiful here. This is great. That's a nasty move. And I agree, you should castle. You could also play f5. You got a great position. That's nothing. Boom! Tell him to eat the rock there, right? Just eating the rock. What is this, rook d8? What are you doing? Okay, good. Now here he's got your disease, Jamil. He says things like queen g6 when he means queen g3.
Please, I'm just catching strays left, right, and center here.
Knight d7, good move. c5, he's not developing. And now you play queen f2. Now, so one of the things we want to say actually is, so at your level, in terms of beating people, it's going to be people like this guy who refuse to develop their pieces, right? And so when you get this moment, I think you did well. You said to yourself, I've got a great position, c5. He's down 3 million tempi. What can I do to hurt him? Right? And Stockfish showed you rook f2, and I just want to say, rook f2 is, if you find nothing else, that should be the move that comes to mind, simply because this guy is the only one of your pieces that's truly not in the game. Right? Okay. Your opponent is also moving much too fast, of course. And now he's just lost. Wait a second. I thought knight g5 was going to crush everyone's soul.
Knight d5. Can't take the knight.
Knight d5. Okay, timeout. So he does a little bit of engine analysis here, but that would be our main question.
Mm-hmm.
The engine presumably has...
Hold up, you got knight e6.
Very nice. So that's the key move to see. So the engine finds knight d5, but unless you see an answer to bishop g7, it doesn't count. And that's what we mean by wanting to do it with our heads. Right? Because that's by the way, Jamil, nice move.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then, this whole line that he gives is computer generated, but it doesn't make any sense in the sense that we needed to see what the idea of knight d5 was. Okay, so he goes back. Good. Okay, you're doing fine. And now if he was a person concerned with development, he would at least consider king f8 with putting his king there. I don't understand the arrow with the bishop, but okay. Now here we come again. But now he's got castles, unfortunately. Now he's got castles, unfortunately. All right, now we just got to go back. So we've lost a lot of time. And let's just say that one of the things that's going on in your chess is you're playing opponents, right? So in like this position, who don't respect development. And you have a difficult task here of finding a plan. I think White's winning here, but I don't know just off the top of my head what to do here. It's not immediately obvious. There's a variety of different things that you could do, right? So the thing to observe is, I have to spend some time here. And you spend only 1 minute. And then here, actually, I'll give you props. You at least thought about this thing. I think you probably missed castling for black, but you did think about it. All right. So now rook a1, definitely d4. And you say equals, to me it's totally, I like white in principle, but it's complicated. Now he should take, and now we play d4. So notice that before the bishop was hitting on a rock, and because you didn't play d4, where the bishop would be shut out of play, now the bishop is doing something. Oh, terrible move. Oh, God, letting your knight cruise in there? Oh, baby, that's a big one. All right, Stockfish wants h4. I think it would help, too, if you didn't do the engine analysis. The engine analysis makes it seem easy. f2. Okay. Now he's got the little octopus. That's a weird move. What are you doing, buddy? You got to play rook d7. Oh, man. This is fun. Okay. Rook f8. No idea what he's doing. Thank you very much. Now you're winning. No one knows what a5's about. King h1, maybe. It makes sense, though, what you're doing. You're trading some stuff off. You're doing fine. This part you didn't play poorly. hg4 makes a lot of sense, too. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you missed queen a7. Okay. It's not surprising that both players are going to miss loads of things because both players are moving way too fast. He's even got that move. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, king h2. I don't know. Queen f4, it looks to me like you're winning, so I'm not going to play
Queen f5, you mean, no?
No, I meant queen f4. All right. He meant this queen f4 variation up here, bud, where he was talking about he wanted on king h2, he says it's double question mark because black Stockfish says he can do this, but to me I was just saying that's a winning position in my chump GM head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of complicated. Okay, I'm gonna say it's complicated, sure. All right, but whew, what a game. What a game. So Kratwich, hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, I really think it's possible. And I think you should approach it as a thing that's not just about chess, but it's about other things in life, right? There's like the ability to think it's a golden thing. And you're pressing the Stockfish too fast in your analysis. So if you looked at it more with your own mind, I think that would force you to be in a situation like you are in the game where you're like, I don't know what to do. I got to think about this, right? Okay, well done. You could also join the live classes. I'll just give my spiel for the live classes. These things are amazing. And we got the game and profile review. And that could be a thing for you. Anybody, really. But, we have other people who are at your level who have the same issue. We're going to look at their games deeply. So in these graduation shows, obviously I can't go that deep. We can't have a real discussion. Can't have people around you talking about what happened. Just a superficial analysis, right? But anyways, that's what that is about. Okay, now we got Vertos. He reached 2,000 on Chess.com. Lifelong goal. Congratulations. He started playing late 5 years ago. Great, okay. So he wants to go to 2,200. We're going to talk about this goal for a second, Vertos.
All right, I think this might be my last game, Jesse.
Okay.
11 p.m.
All right. He's been here for a while, started training seriously in late December. Still gaps in his understanding. Okay. And he's gone up to, well, it said he was up to 2,000, but here it says 1,900. Maybe he hit it and fell back down? I don't know. Clubs. All right, with chess content creators. I actually did a video called the 2100 Trap. Jamil can watch that. That came out yesterday. Terrible, terrible thumbnail created by the ChessDojo boys. But it's a good video, I thought. And so, Vertos, when you're playing at this, it's really hard to progress past 2000 on chess.com. Jamil is a poster boy for this condition where he's playing people who are either cheaters or they're playing too fast. It's hard for him to concentrate. There's all of these problems when you've made it this far and you want to go further, and it just turns into a real stumbling block at this level. So please check out my video, and we're gonna look at one of your games.
I stopped playing. You remember I used to play at least a game a week,
Right.
and now I think I'm playing a game every 3 months or something.
And Vertos, here we can see it on this time graph, right?
But it's also immensely discouraging because, you know, it's probably like what 30 or 40% of the players I'm up against are cheaters.
I did a back of the envelope calculation, and at 2100, here's an interesting thing, Jamil. My calculation was, because Jack told me he's playing a lot of 10 minutes, which he shouldn't be doing. He's playing 10-minute games, and he was like, no, I'm not getting as many cheaters. So I looked into it, and I calculated something like 6% cheaters at 10-minute at 2100. But then at your level is more like 16%. And so the interesting thing is about that is like, oh. By the way, when I say 16%, I just mean 16% of when I go back like a year on somebody's account, how many closed accounts do I see? So there might be more, there's definitely more than that, but of like how many closed accounts, that's my metric.
Do you remember when I hit 2100? I think it was in your video. It was like 1 in 5 of the last 20 games I played, the accounts have been banned or something.
It was really bad. It was really bad. But I did go back and I looked and tried to do a little bit more. I didn't go super deep, but I came up with 16%.
Well, I suppose naturally you'll see more cheaters with the slightly longer time controls because you don't have as much time to cheat in 10 minutes.
Well, right, or I think, better said, you are more tempted to cheat. You're playing 30 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, let's get into Vertos here. And Vertos, I'm going to say maybe some things here, but the most important thing is you're moving too fast. And you're basically playing a blitz game here. So, good play, by the way, so far. And he likes f4 here. Bishop c5 is a very understandable mistake. And here, though, queen c7 looks like the main move. Or bishop h2, either one of those. So that looks like a blunder, played very quickly. And now you said rook ac1.
AC1?
I don't get it, honestly, Jamil. Why not play h3 here? Or g3, for that matter.
Yeah.
Why can't he take the pawn? Why can't he take the... Because he's moving too fast. That's
Why is he
why.
not?
So now we got a winning endgame. Reasonable. Well, by the way, this is very hot, actually. So queen c5 is going to mobilize the black rook. So we're not sure if we want to do it. And it depends on the counterplay that black could have gotten here. Actually does with rook c4. So actually this did not work out for us as white. So queen c5 in hindsight was the mistake. So that's what we needed to look at. Was it hard? Yeah. It wasn't something to just immediately understand. All right, big momentito here. Definitely have to analyze d6. I don't like that. Seems like it just helped black. All right, big moment. And your opponent plays b3 after not thinking too long. So let me just stress, I've played a lot of these endgames in my life. And the only thing I know for sure is this is not a simple position. This is not a simple position.
Well, he also made it hard on himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's just playing both black and white. They're just playing as if it's totally simple. But actually, they're just not even thinking. No one's thinking at all here. What are you doing? Rook takes b3. You got to play rook e2, buddy.
Why would you want to trade?
No one understands this, dude.
No, like,
yeah, look, this is 5 seconds. This is so you could debate FG followed by H3, or you could debate King D4.
Yeah.
And this guy takes. I mean, if he is now lost, we need a line as to why he's not lost in the after, let's say, King F5 or whatever it is that I don't know if it's a computer and said he was lost. I don't know, but we need an analysis. Okay, Vertos, bro, it's obvious what you need. You need to slow it down. But look, you got 52 minutes left in one of the most complicated games I've ever seen. All right. So, do you want to stay for one more? Jamil, you out of here.
Fine, last one.
All right, this is Kayash. He's coming up to your level, Jamil. This took a lot longer than I would have thought it would. In an effort to push for this graduation last year, I went overboard with chess training, and my chess ability went straight downhill. With a more relaxed training schedule, making sure I only play games when I am mentally prepared for them, he's making the grade came easy. All right. So
there's a such thing as overdoing it too, I think.
he's testing the effect of physical fitness on his chess. So we're going to see if he's in cardio club or strength club. Oh, he's got to get in one of those clubs, Kayash. Come on now. Let's just click this out. He's gone through. Yeah, it seemed like he really went for it. Then he stopped here. But now he's come back a little bit. New Year's resolution. All right, here we go. 8:16. Oh, wait a second. No, that's too long ago. All right, we're going to go over one of his games, but really, in general, we want a more recent game. Oh, look, standard business. Standard business. Jamil, I hope this is the lesson to you. We can't have you playing these chumps online. You need a real game. All right, here we go. I don't understand any. I understand nothing.
Weird.
I don't know. I just I can't. I don't understand anything. It was too much for me. I just see a lot of hanging pieces. Okay, white wins.
You have no interest.
Well, I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand. I've actually seen something similar to this before, but I just on H5. Oh God.
You just had no interest in looking at this game.
Oh. I mean, there's a lot to say here. Knight G3, the whole thing. All right. The thing that breaks my heart, though, is that you're playing a real game and your opponent isn't thinking at all. Right? And you end up getting a fine game, and we get like this position over here. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. All right. So Jamil thinks I have no interest. I think bishop c3 looks like a tall pawn. I don't like it.
Queen b6, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, now we just hang a piece. So we need in the analysis So reflect a little bit. And what we really want to say is your knight isn't doing well. Your rook isn't doing well. So here's a chance to think about different plans. I think knight here to b8 to c6 looks good, right? Putting some pressure on both of these points. But this, we need a question mark. Because you just lost a piece. And dude could have played just bishop b2, right? Yeah. All right, so that was the famous Kayash. He's doing great. I mean, he's up there. He's also in what I would call the 2100 trap of the ChessCom trap. Also, Kayash, you're actually not in the right cohort. This is 1661. Okay, so, two more, bud. Two more, here we go. We got the famous will add. This is hard on me, Jamil. I'm an old man. I got to do this, this whole grad show. 1778, clubs. He's an old guy like me. That's cool. Yeah, but no games. But also, it seems like he joined in April last year, but hasn't logged much. In any case, congratulations. Congratulations that you got there. That's cool. All right. Watch my video, the 2100 trap, but now, Jamil, actually stay for this guy. This guy's amazing. I believe he's from the Philippines. Yeah. I like chess. I like endgame study now. Helps me a lot on to play in the middle game. I started playing for space rather than pieces. I believe my chess is evolving. Calling Philippine dojoers. Come join our online club, ChessDojo Philippines, and meet once a week for classical chess. Oh, that's beautiful. AC Secret has really developed here over the years. Actually, he hasn't been here that long. I thought he'd been here for longer, but he's just been flying up and been aware of him. So yeah, he's around Jamil's rating, a little lower maybe, but in the same cohort.
Is he?
Yeah, 1900. The next graduation would be 2165, and you're not there yet.
Is it 2165?
Is to graduate to 2000? Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 2150.
So
30 point. That can be my New Year resolution. To gain defense.
We got two people, ChessDojo Philippines. That's super cool. And now we got some games. And a very recent game. And this will be our last for the day. And then I got to go sit down. I am sitting down. But you know what
I gotta go on this, buddy. It's 11 p.m. for me.
Okay, AC Secret, let's talk. You're in this 2100 trap that I talked about. In fact, I'm going to get the link right now because Jamil needs to watch it either when he wakes up or before he goes to bed. And it is so critical for you guys in particular who are at this level where you've made it. It's amazing, but you're completely stuck and people don't realize that they're stuck in this trap here. And you're definitely doing it. Part of the trap is that you're playing fast time controls, and then look, you're playing some clown online, and they're not even thinking. All right, so I'm going to put this in the Twitch chat. Okay, there it is, Jamil. All right, here we go. So he says this game is special because of endgame knowledge. That's fun. Black is fine, of course, here. Fine. Okay. Okay. And he really likes 95. I don't know. I don't know. We'll take that knight. Thank you very much. And now black opens the position a little bit with c5. He has other moves, but that one's fine to me.
I'm not convinced about knight e5.
No, I'm not either. But I think, honestly, I'm not going to judge him too hard because black's position here, Jamil, is actually pretty good. The unopposed bishop on g6 is so strong that it's hard for white to do anything. If I was white, maybe I'd play queen e2, rook e1, maybe knight e4, bring the knight back. Okay. Fine. A little frisky, but I think I'm okay with it. He wants to trade all his coconuts off. Okay. Now queen c6. In general, we would like to play a maneuver like f6, e5 to put our pawns on the dark squares. All right. Why? Because our beautiful bishop is g6. I don't think I understand bishop d4. Queen a4. Okay. f6. Fun. We kind of forced you to do the right move with f6. And now he trades. That wasn't good. But that was you. It's not you. It's not him trading. That's you trading. All right, here we go. a6.
This guy black or white?
He's playing white. And he says it isn't looking good. It's true. One thing, actually, just to say, for higher level consideration, is these endgames with two bishops against the bishop and knight, especially if there's a weakness like the pawn on b3 and a passivity with the knight, they're surprisingly difficult to defend, i.e. they're often just surprisingly just done when you really look at it closely. I don't understand king e8. He's reluctant to push e5. Jamil, I'll explain to him real quick, why do we want our pawns on dark squares in this position?
Because you have an unopposed light squared bishop and you want to contain white's dark squared bishop.
Okay. Or another way of saying is we own the light squares, so our pawns should do the fighting that we need to do on the dark squares.
Which is pretty much what I just said.
Kinda. All right, so you want to trade. I think this is okay. I don't think black should trade. All right. Now, we should definitely analyze bishop c5. You take. Good. c4. Good. Good. Now we need to do something fancy with your knight. Good. Good. And now you do more fancy stuff. h4. And now e4. So e4, we should say, is in general a mistake because it's putting the pawn on the same color as the bishop. So now black will have trouble, black will have trouble fighting for the dark squares. Okay? And this one is particularly bad because he's giving white this d4 square for his king.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'd much rather see knight g2 here. Just makes way more sense. You get both of these squares. I don't understand that move, b5. So, but I think he's already in big trouble. Check to the miserable king. And now, this is a good variation. This is what we're talking about. Boom, boom, and you're saying white can't catch. Yeah, well said. You're close, but it's not there. It's funny, if the king were here, we could go here, here, and here, but now we can't. So bishop c4, thank you. And now it's a big deal that this pawn is just sitting there in a light square. I would have wanted to do some analysis here about other moves like knight f5. He should probably try a5. Okay, this is fun. Check. Good. There we go. That's looking good. We're making a little... Oh, we got him. Yeah, buddy. But the good news is, I think F5, he's already in big trouble. I don't think this is defendable. For example, on King F7, I think we can calmly play here, here, and here. Take another coconut and say goodbye. So AC Secret, great game. And maybe a couple things to observe is like, first that video, and one thing to say about the video is, think about it this way. Let's just think about the position you guys got with the two bishops, right? So this is what I mean when I say, if you don't play longer games, you won't ever be able to understand how bad this position is for white. Because if you're just playing a 30-20 game or something like that, you'll never get it, right? And, your opponent definitely, hey, you definitely didn't get it, bud. Look how fast you're playing this endgame, right? So it's important for everybody to start playing longer games, but especially when you get to this 2100, you will not make it further if you don't, do some bigger thinking. Even if your soul says, look, I just want to play 10-minute chess. If you want to improve at playing 10-minute chess, you play a longer game so you understand, oh, this is really a thing where I understand why black has such a massive position. Okay, my friends, we did it. We did 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to sleep.
All right, good night, my friend.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right. So we're gonna raid somebody. I gotta go take a nap. I probably won't take a nap, but we do need to do some things here. Let's raid. I don't know. Let's raid Lena Chess. I don't know who Lena Chess is. No idea. Haven't heard of him before, but we're gonna raid Lena Chess. And I'll be back next Wednesday for the grad show. We got all kinds of vids. We got the training program. We got the new live classes you can check out. It's a beautiful time. Join the dojo.